Hello, everybody. Welcome to this iTeach Plus session on Wrangling Blackboard. We're really glad that you've joined us today. This iTeach Plus session on Wrangling. That means it's working. Thank you for joining us, and we really encourage you to participate in this event by asking questions. Over on the right side of your YouTube viewing channel, there should be a place for you to sign in and ask questions, and we'll be monitoring those questions as we go through this session today. This is one of many iTeach Plus sessions that UAF eLearning is hosting, and today we're really happy to have Naomi Egeland with OIT to join us when we're talking about Blackboard. Just want to share here some information about resources. We have contact information, and if you're interested in more resources or want to watch this recording again, if you go to this URL here, that will, it's a short URL that will take you to iTeach U, where this page is being hosted. I'm Heidi Olson, and I am the e-learning design coordinator for UAF eLearning, and I'm really happy to be here to talk about Blackboard. I think that there are a lot of features in Blackboard that are underutilized, so hopefully we'll be able to touch on some of those. If you have features that you really like about Blackboard that you're not seeing your co-workers or co-teachers using, add that to the chat box, and we can talk about that. And if at any time you have any questions after the recording, then please, reach out and be sure to ask questions. Let's just go around and do some introductions. Chris, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Hi, my name is Chris Bix. I'm an instructional designer with eLearning at UAF, and I've been with this team for about 6 months, 6 or 7 months now, and prior to that, worked with OIT for 8 years as a support person, as well as Google Apps, and so excited to join you today and show you a few unknown tips about Blackboard.
And I'm Tina Johnson. I'm also an instructional designer here at UAF eLearning. I've been here 17 years. I started out at the front counter and have evolved into the instructional design position. My focus is primarily Blackboard, and I'm here to participate in this event as well. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Naomi Egeland. I'm a technology trainer and Blackboard support for UAF's OIT. I've been here for almost a year, and I've also been an adjunct professor for the university, teaching online classes for about 5 years, although I don't teach anymore. So.
Great, we're really glad to have you, Naomi. Thank you. Tina, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Let me share my screen. Can all of you see that? Is that working?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, how about the text? Is that visible as well?
Yeah, maybe if you could bump that up, that might be a little bit better.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oops, hold on. How's that? Better or more?
That looks good. Thanks.
Okay, great. So today I am going to demonstrate a feature of Blackboard under Course Tools. It is labeled Set Grade Center Due Dates. This is a feature that allows instructors to just quickly go in and update their course each semester with the current due dates. But first, I want to fully understand how it functions. I'd like to take you to the student mode and view it using this little icon. Instructors can use that icon to view what students see in their course, exactly what students see. They can also use it to submit experimental items, take quizzes, turn in papers, and then go back in as the instructor and view from the Grade Center perspective. So it's very useful. And if I click on my grades in student mode, you can see I have some little example test assignments here. And there's no dates with exception. Oh, there's an old date down here, which I would want to remove if this was a current real course. So I am going to exit out of preview now. And voila, I get this dialog box asking me 3 questions. And those 3 questions give me options. I can delete it and tell it not to ever pop up again, or I can keep the preview user and all data, which is what you would want to do if you want to go back to the Grade Center and review what you've done as a student in the instructor role. So, and then remember this choice, do not ask me again. So I am going just to click continue through here. So you can change that setting up at the top too of your course and have that box. You can change the settings if you want to see it or you want to mess with it. Either way, Blackboard gives you that option. My computer is thinking. It's exiting out. I'm back in instructor mode, and I'm going to go back down to under course tools, under the control panel, the set Grade Center due date screen. And this is the same list of items that we were just looking at. I am going just to click continue through here. So you can change that setting up at the top too of your course and have that box. You can change. I'm getting some feedback, you guys. I'm sorry. So you can see here is available. These are all checked. So students are seeing these. If you uncheck these, students will not see the item, this is an example, when they click back over to, and view their grades. When they go into the My Grades area, they won't see if you uncheck this. I'm going to remove this date. It's an old date. I wouldn't want students to see that. But if I want to add new dates, you can key them in manually, or you can scroll through a calendar and choose dates. Very quickly. And if you have a lot of items on this list, if you have a lot of items to grade in your Grade Center, this list will be long. And you can click the submit button as you go, and it's not going to take you out of the screen and have to click back in. You could just keep plugging away with filtering through all your assignments and assigning due dates. I'm going to go out of here now. One thing too that's important is always check this box. So Blackboard has a set time daily on when those assignments are due. You can see it, you know, in the field. You can change it to any time, but that's the default end of the day. It's thinking. And I am going to go back in to student mode again and show you the results. Hopefully they'll be there. And you can see all those awesome dates are there and very visible to students, which is really important if your course is structured. It's just another layer of reminding students of your due dates. You can't have this information enough in a course if your course is structured with due dates, and most e-learning courses are, and it's just an easy way. Each semester you just go in and clear out the old and add the new. Keep in mind that the old will roll with the copy. The old dates from your previous copy of the course will live in the new semester copied transferred content course, and so you'll have to go in and clear them out or re-enter them. But I encourage you to use it. A lot of instructors here at eLearning are using this feature, and it works quite well. So I'm going to hand it off to the next participant.
Great.
All right, I think that would be me. And so I've got, I'm going to share my screen as well. And I don't know if Tina's going to. Tina, you got to stop sharing your screen so I can.
I'm turning it off now. Did that work?
Yeah, that worked. That worked. Excellent. I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk about color coding your grade center today. And show you that in Grade Center you can actually add some color in your Grade Center that could be a useful tool. As you can see here, my Grade Center has different colors in here. It's got red and green cells there in grades that have been entered in the Grade Center, and some white ones as well. And you may notice that the green ones they may be good grades, and that the red ones may be a bit lower than usual. And the white ones currently aren't really color-coded, they just look white. Can you guys see the screen okay? Is it legible?
Yeah, it is.
Excellent. So the way to do this and how I got here, I'm using the full Grade Center, which is under the control panel, and opening up Grade Center and clicking on the full Grade Center option there. And the way I added color is by setting some grade coloring rules. You can do so by clicking on the Manage menu. About the third one down says Grading Color Codes. And when we click on that, it will get us to the color coding page. And initially, the Enable Grading Color Codes checkbox, you'll have to check that. By default, it is not checked. To check it, you'll get some options to color code your Grade Center. And then first below, you'll see that under your grading statuses, so in progress, needs grading, and exempt. You may be familiar that with these statuses, you may see this in your Grade Center when a student is taking assessment, maybe a test or something like that. It'll have a little icon there that says it's in progress, or if a student has completed an assessment, maybe submitted an assignment for you to grade, it may show it as needs grading. Now, those statuses you can show as a different color, and so you can click on the drop down here, and it gives you a color swatch, and you can pick a color for that. Since there are already ones that show the grading status for this, I'm not going to color code those today. And want to jump down to some grading ranges. And here you'll see that I set up different criteria to show a different color cell for each student. So the green one is for more than or equal to a certain percentage, in this case 90%, and it gets the dark green color as the background color for the cell, and then white text on top of that, which will look like that. And I also set one up less than 70%, which then shows up in bright red with some black text on there. So what I want to do here is add a criteria here. And if I click add criteria, because there is a difference there should be a in between 90 and 70%. And so I'm going to say, you know what, give me everything between 70 and 90%. And instead of white, which is what it is now, I would like it to be, well, let's pick a orange color right there. Let's apply that. So orange is the background. And then the black text doesn't show up all that well, so let's get a different color. Let's do a green text on there. That's a little better. So that'll differentiate the grades in between the 70 and 90 criteria. Set that up, and you can add as many criteria as you would like here. So I'm going to click submit, and once we do that, my grade center should have another color. And it does indeed. And so now you see the orange cells right there that meet the criteria I just set up between 70 and 90%. And so that's everything between a C and an A. And you can see that that happened for assignments and assignment columns that are right here, but also applies to the total column. The current grade right here also shows that up. And so it shows up for any type of column in Grade Center. And if you add a particular grade, it'll code it as well. So if I put in 15 here, you'll see that that goes into green at that point. And so this applies to all of the columns in Grade Center. And you know, in this case, I only have 4 students in this particular class. But this can be really a tool if you have a lot of students in your course. You know, let's say 40, 50 students. This could really jump out some of the students that are doing really well, but also students that may need a little extra help, or that you may want to keep a closer eye on because their grades are in a category that you may want to watch for. So that is coding in Grade Center. Any questions on this?
We did have a question, Chris, that came through, and just wondering if that color validation follows through to a download of the Grade Center. Do you know?
Oh, that's a good question. I do not know if it does. I kind of doubt that it does, because it is a Blackboard feature. I don't think it's it's a display feature, so I don't think it's going to show up in a Excel spreadsheet.
Okay. No, it's easy
but
to
it's a good question. We'll see if we can find that out and see.
Yeah.
See if it does.
Well, I could certainly see why that
any
would
other
be more
questions?
handy.
I don't think this feature is used a lot. I showed it earlier to a a faculty member who had 80 students in her class, and so she thought this might come in very handy. So,
Great.
all right, then I'll hand it off to Naomi.
All right. I will share my screen. Is this working?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm Naomi, and I'm going to talk about using Kaltura for Blackboard. I'm going to walk through the various Kaltura video tools that are available in Blackboard and the features that it has to offer. What Kaltura is it's UAF's new video platform for online video management, creation, and collaboration, taking the place of Echo 360, which we've previously had. And it integrates directly with Blackboard, so you can use it right from your course shell. So I'm going to show you how to use the video tools to upload, manage, publish, and track media in your Blackboard Learn courses. Each Blackboard Learn course has a course media gallery to which authorized users can publish media. So this is only accessible to those enrolled in that course. And each user has their own private searchable media repository that's separate but tied to Blackboard for viewing, uploading, creating, and managing media. There's also a Kaltura mashup tool that lets you embed media directly into the context of a course, into assignments, discussions, items, and more areas. So there are a few different ways to access your media gallery in Blackboard, in your Blackboard course, and to make it accessible to your students. One of the ways is going to Tools and Media Gallery, and that's Tools from your course menu up here, and then Media Gallery. And this will open the course Media Gallery that's specific to this course. You can also add a link on your course menu that will take students straight to the Media Gallery so they don't have to find it in the Tools area. So you add a tool link by hovering over this plus sign. Under Type, you find Media Gallery in this list. Make it available. And here's this link. So clicking on this will now take you to the same area, the Media Gallery. So students will be able to see anything that you have published to your media gallery for this course. From the media gallery, you can add more media, clicking this Add Media button. You can choose media that's already been added to your gallery. This here shows you all of your videos in your media gallery, including ones that have not been published to your course. You can tell which ones have been published by the grayed out checkbox next to the video. So this one here is the only one that has not yet been published. So you can select it and choose Publish. And now it is viewable by all of your students in the course in your media gallery. If you add a video by accident or you no longer want it to be available in your media gallery, you have some options when you click on this plus button at the bottom right of each video, and one of them is Remove. That will remove the video from your media gallery in your course, but not from your complete media repository. So you could still publish it again later down the road if you want. You also have the option of adding or viewing comments by clicking on this comment icon. You and your students can have a threaded discussion here on your videos. And you also have the ability to edit a video here in Blackboard. So it gives you a little bit of information over to the right, how many times it was viewed and played. where it's published. It tells you the name of the course that it's published in. So if it was in more than one course, you would see that list of courses listed here. You have the ability to edit the name and the description, add some tags, which your students have the ability to search your videos if you have several based on the tags. You can change some of these options, including letting students or other users create clips from this video. You can choose to disable comments or close the discussion, so no new comments on top of the ones that are already there. Under collaboration, you can change who owns the media. And you can also add co-editors and co-publishers so others can edit the content and can also publish the videos to their course. You can add an attachment to the video. You can add a caption file so the video is captioned. You can create a thumbnail for the video. You can upload your own, capture it right from the video, or have it auto-generated. You can choose which formats the downloads are going to be in. You can create chapters for the video and slides using timeline. And you can trim the video right here using these sliders. And you can preview and then commit that change. And from the media gallery, you can also add new. You can upload a video that you already have recorded that is on your computer file storage area, or you can do a webcam recording where you record yourself right from your computer using your webcam. Uploading media is very simple. You just click on choose a file to upload and open. It shows you the progress. It gives you the options of filling out the details. The name is the only thing that's required. You can add a description and tags if you want. And if you go back to your media gallery, you should see a message at the top in this yellow bar that says your media will be presented when it's ready. You can refresh if you want. And here is the video that I just added. You also have the ability to add a video right to a content area. As you can see here, I added these videos already. It's as easy as going to build content and under mashups, Kaltura Media, select which video that you want to add to this area. Give it a name. And then it's down here. Another way that you can do it is by going to Create Item. And then in the content, the text editor under Mashups, you can choose Kaltura Media, and this is the same way that students will use Kaltura Media to add a video to their discussion board item or assignment. And then select from here. And then you can add any further description or comments that you want to. One of the other items I wanted to show you is in My Blackboard you can add a module called My Media. that just provides a link right on your My Blackboard landing page to your media gallery. And this isn't to any specific course. This is all of your videos in your media gallery. From here, you can also publish a video, and it gives you the options of all of the courses that you are currently enrolled in. You can publish to multiple courses at one time. And it tells you for this media that you selected where it's published. So it tells you it's in the course that I was just in. It's also embedded in that course, and it's now in my second course. Kaltura also offers an external site where you can access your media gallery outside of Blackboard, and the address is media.uaf.edu. And you can sign in just using your regular UA credentials. And here you have the same options of uploading media, recording from a webcam, Capture Space, which is a desktop recorder program, and then video quiz, and looking at your media and any playlists and channels that you've created from here. You can edit from within here as well. There are a few resources that you should be aware of. If you visit the training site on OIT's website, you can request a training for Kaltura if you want a one-on-one training. And we're also offering some workshops throughout this month and probably next month that are available on the training calendar here that can be signed up for. And there's also, I believe it's knowledge.kaltura.com, that offers several user guides, best practices, videos, just a lot of information for getting started with Kaltura. So that is everything that I wanted to share.
Great, thanks, Naomi. We did have a question from Cindy about maximum length time for a video. Are there any sort of storage limitations for faculty and students?
There are not at this moment, but we are hoping that users will just practice, use their best judgment and not, upload a lot of really large files, but there is no set limit.
That's great, and I think this is wonderful that this is an option available for students as well. I can see, I already have several ideas about how I can use it in my class. I like the option for students to be able to select their own clip from the same video. I think that would be really interesting to see what students are picking up on sort of one message. I think that'll be a great thing to use.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I like being able to add it from multiple places. So just to make sure I understand this, each faculty will have sort of the media repository where all of their videos can be located, and they can actually create and stage them there. And then within each course, you have the media gallery, which is kind of like a filter. And it's just filtering out those specific videos that you have assigned to go in.
Yes.
Right. Great. Cool. That is great. That's going to be fun. Since we were talking about video and using and around a discussion board, I wanted to share and talk about using the discussion board for students. So let me just get here. I think that there's a lot of things within the discussion board that are underutilized. And so I just wanted to kind of talk through some of those. Here in here I am in my class, and I have one forum already set up, but I want to create a second discussion forum. So I'm going to click there, and I get a chance to create a forum name. I'm going to add some instructions and directions here, which is pretty standard. I can make my forum available, and I can have it appear at a unique time and then have it disappear. I just want to caution you about having things disappear, because they actually disappear for the students, and so they're not able to go back to sort of review what they have said or what others have said or the prompts. So I just really caution you about turning things off for students, because I think that can be a really great way to review and to make sure that you're continually sort of thinking about the class and what has happened before. That helps, you know, with that cognitive load. Different forum settings that you have available. By default, you have the standard view, which I think most people are familiar with. You can also set up your forums so that you sort of hide the threads of a forum until a student has created their own thread. So if you select this option where participants create a thread in order to view the other threads, this will help make sure that your students aren't getting any sort of preconceived notion from other students. So they're should be more apt to come up with their own original thoughts. So if you choose that option, you should make sure to tell students that they won't see anything until they post. And then you also then lose the ability for the author or the student to edit their own post. So I guess the thought behind that is that you don't want students just to create a thread, empty thread, then they see everybody else's post because they have the ability to go back and edit. So that's sort of built-in assurance that students won't cheat and create a thread and then go back and edit it to make it sound like everyone else's post. Anyway, that's one option you might want to consider for your discussion forums. You might not want to do that for every forum, but maybe occasionally where you want to give the student a little bit extra rigor, you could choose that option. Another option is to add the discussion forum to the Grade Center, and there's so many advantages to doing this. First of all, it creates a column in the Grade Center for you automatically. You can go there and that's where you would then go to grade the discussion. This is just an example of another of the same course, and I see by the exclamation point that there's posts there, and I can go in and look at the post, and it's gonna pull together all the posts by that one author, posts and comments. So right at one fell swoop, I can just grade everything. Really great advantage of having of creating that discussion, the grading element for that discussion forum. Let's look at some other ones. If you do choose the option where you want students to only respond to your forum, then you can choose to grade the threads as another mechanism for grading. That's a different strategy where you're creating the original forum post and students are responding or replying to that as opposed to having each student create their own thread. When you select the grading option, you're also able to add a rubric. If you like rubrics and want to add one of those, you can create a new one, or you can use an existing one that you might have created for all of your discussion forums. You're also able to add a due date, which is highly highly recommended. And as Tina showed you earlier, the due dates really help students stay on task, and it makes things easier for you on the classroom management where you're keeping your cohort of students all together. If you have requirement where you want your students to create an original post plus make comments on maybe 2 other students, you could change the number of posts required in this option so that you aren't notified that it needs grading until they have those they fulfilled those 3 requirements of posting plus commenting twice. Otherwise, if you leave it at 1, if they haven't fulfilled your requirement, it's going to notify you that you need to grade it. So if that's a requirement, you might want to look at that number. It's a really nice feature to have your students be able to subscribe to the email, to the discussion forum. It's just another prompt. It is an email notification, so it's just another way of allowing students to choose how they want to stay connected to your course. Also, being able to edit your own posts is a nice option to give students, especially those who make typographical errors like I often do. And then another kind of fun thing is to be able to allow users to post their own tagging options so that they can quickly find things, and also to allow members to rate posts. So this is just another way of students giving other students a big pat on the back if they think that a student has said something really great. One thing that helps to build community within a discussion board is adding a profile picture. So as you can see in this example, there are some pictures, and if you hover over them, you get more information about that person. And then there's also just some anonymous heads there, which maybe aren't as personal. Having your students go in and add their profile picture can sort of help build that community, and put a picture with a name. And to do that, you go up to the global navigation, which is in the upper right corner. And this is a place that looks at all of your Blackboard courses in one spot. So it's a global navigation area. And if you select that area, you can see that you have different options of a combined calendar, grades, posting. All of these have instances in all your other Blackboard courses. To change or add your profile picture, if you just click on the picture spot there, you'll get this screen, and you can click on the settings and privacy, and this is where you can add a picture. So that might be something as an introductory assignment you have for students, is to go in and have them add their profile picture. Because that can really make a nice way to start a community going. Are there any questions or comments about that from you guys? Okay.
No, I think that's great. It's a good rundown to the options that are available in forums.
Mm-hmm. Good. I think yesterday you and I were talking, Chris, about how a lot of the Blackboard mobile apps are really dependent on those due dates. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah. So by default, a lot of students actually use the mobile app for Blackboard, and by default, the mobile notifications for that app are enabled for the notifications for a course. But all of those notifications depend on a due date. And so if an instructor sets a due date, those notifications will work and will show up. Date there, those notifications won't be there. There won't be a trigger to give a notification. And it's important to know that a due date is really just that. It's a due date. It doesn't. It's not an availability date. Those sometimes get confused in Blackboard. An availability date is a date and time that you set for when a particular item in Blackboard may show up or may disappear. That's not what a due date does. A due date is what you would have on a paper. A paper's due. And if the due date passes, you can still have a student submit work. It'll be marked as late, but the item's still there. So it's really for notifications, and I think that's important to know. And a lot of students are using mobile devices these days to check their grade or reply to a discussion forum.
Yeah, that's really true. It's really good something to think about. I think we have time for one more little hint and trick, Chris. I think you've got something up your sleeves.
Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen again. Just a minute. There we go. Share that. Can you see my screen? Okay, excellent. So one of the things that I'm going to show you, it's a little known tool in Blackboard, and since we're talking about some tips here, is that many faculty, I taught for a number of years, many faculty have their course kind of broken down in some modules or units, and they create folders for kind of some structure in their course, often in this in a content area. And if you see here, the default setting for most courses is course materials, is where that might happen. So you might have some folders for maybe a unit 1 or unit 2. I'm going to actually rename this to lessons real quick. So I'm going to click on the drop down there and say rename link. I'm going to call it lessons. I usually call them lessons because that's interesting. Lessons just make it, does that work? Make it less confusing to a student. So normally, what you would do if you want to create a folder to maybe say lesson 1, you would go down to the build content menu here and then click on the content folder and give that content folder a name. So in this case, I will call that, and it could be unit 1 or module 1, and whatever you'd like. And often below there, you would give it a little description or maybe some of the objectives that you'll cover in this. I'm going to leave that blank for now and just say submit. One and if you did this maybe by week or by chapter, you may be creating 14, 15 of these folders, and that can be some time consuming. Well, there's a little tool in Blackboard that was added here, is that you can create multiple folder creations, multiple folders at the same time. So under the build content menu, I go where we went before to the content folder. You can click on multiple folder creation. When we click on that, it goes to a page here where you can choose whether you want individual folders. So you can name them different names. Or in this case, I'm going to actually use naming scheme, and I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to have 4 lessons, so I need 3 more folders. And I'm going to call them, lesson 1, 2, and 3, or 2, 3, and 4 in this case, and say submit. And so I just indicated that I want folders that are progressive, and that I'm going to say lesson. I'm not going to put the number in because it's going to do that for me. So this should give me lesson 2, 3, and 4, or it's probably going to give me lesson 1, 2, and 3. But it created 3 folders for me, all on the same action. And so you can do this with 14 folders all at once if you would like to do that for the whole semester, maybe by week or by chapter, as I said before. So now we've got just like I asked for, but now I do have 2 lesson 1 folders. So I'm going to actually rename this one here and say edit that, and I'm going to name that lesson 4. Click on submit. And then I'm going to click these up and down arrows at the top right to move my lesson 4 folder right down. So if I click that, it comes, the reorder menu shows up. And so if I select lesson 4 folder and move it down by moving by clicking this down arrow here, it'll move it to the lower spot, the last spot. And when I say submit, it's been reordered. You know, 4 folders in this case. That was relatively short time to create those on this feature. Okay. Well, Heidi, I'm going to give it back to you then.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. Thank you, Chris. That'll be really helpful. I'm just going to share out our resources here again as we end this. If you have any further questions and you're watching the live hangout, I can take your questions now. Please go to the more resources URL here on this page. We have there'll be the recording that you can review again, and we've added some more resources about each of the features that we talked about. I included the 2 links that Naomi shared for the OIT training, as well as the Knowledge Kaltura. So that information is up on that site. That is a new feature for all of us, and I think it has a lot of potential. And we're getting some kudos from the watching audience for thanking you guys all for the tips and the good ideas. So do you have any parting comments, you guys? Or thank you, everybody, for joining us. I think it's really great to be able to share this information. When you go to this URL, there'll be links to the faculty development events that are offered by OIT, by the Office of Faculty Development, as well as e-learning. There's something going on every week. So I really encourage you to go check it out. You know, we're all here to support you in your teaching. So please reach out to us to make the best experience for students that we can. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.